Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, I'm here to give you the disclaimers for this here live. Listen, I do not tolerate disrespect. That's in any way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it's towards me, towards anyone that appears on the screen, towards anyone that appears in the chat. If you have not decided to be a better person, most people will tell you to leave, but I'm going to tell you to stick around because maybe something that is said today will encourage you to do so. Now, I am not a mental health professional. I am just one woman willing to share my personal experiences to let you know two things. One, you are not alone, regardless of how much you feel like you are alone, how many times you have felt that, you are not alone. And number two, you can overcome anything that life throws at you. There will be curse words, there will possibly be tears, but knowing me, it probably will be. And my opinions are my opinions. Your opinions are your opinions. We are here to have a nurturing conversations in regards to our opinions so that we will have a better understanding of each other. That's all I got for right now. I hope that you enjoy this nurturing conversation. Let's get to it. Wait. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button that helps me say suggested on YouTube. Make sure that you type in the chat, also leave a comment, and share it with your friends. That's all I got. Let's get into this conversation. I love you.
Hello, beautiful people. I really hope that you guys can hear me. I am testing out my podcaster, uh, my Roadcaster Pro. Roadcaster Pro. I'm testing that out today. So we're gonna see how this works, and hopefully it's working great. Hopefully. Welcome. I am your host, Chelle, also known as Shell, also known as Midwsthumnbrd, also known as a lot of things to a lot of people. Um, I created the Nurturing Conversation. Hi, Gameplay Boy. I created the Nurturing Conversations podcast to ensure that we as humans have a safe place to come and talk about things that we are experiencing in our lives. I talk about everything from taboo topics to sexuality, race, talk about everything, especially because I feel like a lot of things we don't talk about because number one, we don't know how to start the conversation, or number two, we just don't feel comfortable talking about it. Um, I am currently on a journey of healing and self discovery. I'm now entering a new journey. I guess it's a part of the same journey, but I'm entering a new journey from fear to greatness. And so on this journey, I was able to look back and see how instrumental the Nurturing Conversations podcast has been to my own development, my own growth. And so I hope that as it is doing a great work in me, it is also inspiring, encouraging, and empowering you to take the reins of your life. Today's conversation is the art of self care, loving yourself first. And I wanted to talk about this because I feel like no one really tells us how to take care of ourselves. No one really tells us how to love ourselves. They say, oh, you should love yourself and you should take care of yourself, but no one is really I'll say for me, no one has really taught me how to care for myself. They're like, oh, if you're feeling tired, just go take a rest. Or, oh, you should give yourself a spa day. Or, there's like all those things. But the reality of actually what it really means, what does it really mean to take care of yourself? Um, so I just want to give y'all a definition. Again, I'm not a mental health professional. I'm just somebody that's talking from personal experience. Self-care refers to the practice of taking an active role in your own well-being, your happiness, especially during times of stress. It involves engaging in activities that promote holistic health and enhances your quality of life. It's multidimensional. It includes physical, emotional, and mental health. These are three things that we're going to talk about today. I'm not a mental health professional. What qualifies you to be able to talk? I'm somebody who have overcome I've overcome a lot and got to the point. I just told you I was on a journey of healing and self discovery. I've gotten to the point where I've been able to understand what it means to care for yourself, to understand what it means to love yourself. And because I feel like no one has really talked about that, why don't I share that? Why don't we share that? It's cool to go have a spa day. It's cool to go get a massage. But at the same time, are you eating properly? Are you sleeping properly? Are you going to doctor visits? When was the last time you went to the dentist? It's those kind of things for me. It's like that's self-care for me. Before I thought, retail therapy was that's my therapy. That's how I was getting by, getting over things. I have a really bad day, I'll go shopping. I had a closet full of purses. I don't even wear purses to this day. I had Coach clutches. I had all kinds of stuff. I wasn't wearing it, but it made me feel good to buy it. And now I don't just do the feel good thing, the feel good. I actually feel good. I earlier this year or January, well, the end of 2023 coming into 2024, I had the flu. I had a really bad flu, like the original flu. Um and as I started to get better, I experienced vertigo. That was the first time I ever said vertigo. Usually I was calling it vitiligo. Anyways, but I had vertigo. And so it was so crazy because I'm like, hey, I'm asking the people around me, have you ever had vertigo? They was like, oh, yeah, I had it for a month. The month is the like longest that me people said they have it. And so here I am in physical therapy for vertigo. And I'm like, how these other people get it for a month? And then I went to therapy the other day and my therapist was like, your brain needs to rest. And I was like, well, whenever you figure out how to do that, let me know because I be trying. When I tell y'all I sleep, I sleep good, but my brain still be going. It be trying to figure out different things that I can do. And so today I got up and I was like, oh, I have a whiteboard right here, and I have one back there. Y'all can see. I have things that I want to do. I plan to accomplish. Right. So this morning, last night, I was like, I'm gonna get up in the morning, and I'm gonna juice all my fruits and vegetables, and then I'm gonna go do some exercises, and I'm gonna do some work, and then I'm gonna get ready for the podcast. I'm gonna do videos, and I had all these things, and I had planned to do that before 12 o'clock. I got up this morning, and my body was like, "We're not ready to get up yet. We just want to just chill here." And I was like, "Mm-mm." I got a juice. I was saying all these things I need to do, and then it kicked me like it like kicked. It was a kick, like it was thump, a thump, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and lay down. I'm gonna just lay down. I'm gonna just chill, cause I ain't trying to be, I want to be good, so I'm gonna listen. You got to trust yourself because your body gonna tell you if it's ready or if it's not. Sometimes we just don't be caring because we'll never get tired. Listen, I get tired, and I was tired this morning, and so I just laid there, and then I woke up. Like I woke up about 9, and I was like, okay, I'm about to get up, and then it was like, baby, and so I laid down, and I actually went to sleep. I went to sleep, and like I actually felt like my brain rested today. That was the first time I felt like my brain rested. I was dreaming, but it wasn't like an intense dream. It was just like, oh, this is such a peaceful thing to actually just sleep in your brain. It's like calm. So then I got up and I was like, okay, now let me figure out the rest of my day because I had anticipated by 12 o'clock I was gonna have all the videos, everything uploaded. And then I was just like, no, I'm just gonna take it, I'm gonna take it easy. So then I juiced all of my juice. Um on a part where your nutrition, right? So I felt like, I was eating healthy because I usually eat one meal a day. I since I juiced previously, I juiced for like 2, 3 years straight, right? It's getting back into eating is difficult. It's difficult. I never thought I would have said that, but getting back into eating is difficult because now, like, my taste buds change. Like, I will it's a rare occasion if I eat a burger, like super rare occasion if I eat a burger. But I've really been wanting lamb chops. And we went to Longhorn yesterday, sat outside for 2 hours. And then we get in there and I'm like, she's like, what'd you like to order? I'm like, oh, give me some lamb chops. And I was excited. She go around the thing, come back out and say, oh, we just only have enough for the people that was before you. And I was just so heartbroken. I don't know if y'all could just tell. I really was heartbroken because I had waited 2 days, 2 days for them lamb chops. And then I really started to think like, okay, I said on Friday that on Sunday I was going to start, fasting and juicing. Because as I get ready to work out, I want to fast and juice. And I feel like I have so many major things ahead of me. This is a good thing about self care, too. Excuse me. When you have to make major decisions, or when I have to make major decisions, I always go on a fast. Now, I feel the kind of way about things I experienced growing up in church, but fasting definitely helps. It's like it helps me clear my mind. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go on a fast and I'm gonna juice. And I was like, it always happens like this, right? Whenever I get ready to say I'm going to go on a fast or I'm going to start juicing, I want a burger. I want lamb chops. I want stuff that I don't even eat, like chicken. I don't do me and chicken. Like I'm telling y'all, since juicing, I don't really eat. I will do seafood now. I will do some crab legs, but other than that, I don't really. The eating part is just is weird. And then I had a major surgery too. That's a whole other thing. But so I wake up today. I'm getting all the juice and stuff together, and I had saw on TikTok they were doing okra water. And I was like, oh, I should try okra water. I don't even like okra, but I was like, oh, I should try okra water. So I had made some on Friday because I knew on Sunday I was going to get up and make my juice. So I, strained the okra out and I'm making a juice. And I was like, let me try it to see, if it's going to taste like okra. It's a no. So I tried it and it was the bomb. And I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And it's really exciting because I remember 4 years ago when actually got ready to start juicing, it was a no. I tried one day, failed. Tried the next time, 2 days, failed. Tried the next time, 3 days, failed. And I was like, you know what? I can really do this. If I have the discipline. I have the discipline to do it. I can really do it. So I made like 4.5 batches of juice. So I'll have juice for the rest of the week. And just for me, like as I went live earlier, like making a juice, for me, it was just like this is so exciting because I remember a time. I remember a time where I would have said, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And then, you keep putting it off to the next day, and then you put it off to the next day. And next thing you know, it's like 2 weeks later, then it'd be like, oh, I'll do it next month. The next thing you know, it'd be like 6 months later. I'm not with that anymore. Part of me physically taking care of myself is actually doing the things that I say I'm going to do. So I write on I have a what do you call them, markers where you can erase them. So I write on there what I need to do. My list for today had 6 things, no, 7 things. We're down to 3, and these 3 things I can't do until actually tomorrow. So I'm gonna keep those on the list, and I'm gonna make another one tomorrow. But I thought about how I plan to go about taking care of myself for the next couple. I'm gonna be 44 in June, and I'm like I want to make sure that I am whole, like physically, mentally, emotionally. I want to make sure that I am whole. I can't be out here having businesses and hosting concerts and doing all these different things, and my health is not. My health is in order. And usually, when you say health, people just be like, "Oh, you know." They don't think mental health. Like a couple of weeks ago, I was in Arizona and I was just like, I just needed to get away from Wisconsin. You ever been to the point where you're just like, oh, it's so much going on. I just need to clear my mind. So I'm like, I need to go. So I went to Arizona and I literally every day laid out in the sun every day. I didn't care how hot it was. I laid a blanket on the grass and I laid out in the sun. I didn't play any music. I didn't do anything but laid out in the sun and listened to the crickets. I listened to the wind. I listened to everything. And it was the most calming thing ever for me. Just being still, just being present in the moment. And that's for me, that's something that I realize that is important to my self care. Now, some things might not, I might say, hey, meditation. That might not work for you. Maybe yoga will work for you. Or maybe so I was doing workouts and then my friend was like, hey, you should come and do Just Dance with me. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll do Just Dance. And then I thought about it. I got an Apple Watch. So as I'm moving for Just Dance, it's counting the steps and it's like keeping my heart rate and everything. And I was like, oh my God, this is a form of exercise where I'm like so focused. Like, oh, I got to do this exercise. If all I do is move, if I walk up and down the stairs, go to the end of the corner and come back. Movement is how it's all about movement, and that helps my cardio, that helps me breathe easy. It's helping me like keeping my limbs limber, keeping because when you cross over in the 40, let me tell you something, your limbs get a little creaky. You stretch it, all of that, you it get a little creaky, but it's definitely important. And um under the physical umbrella is getting regular checkups. I definitely, of course, since I have vertigo, but I definitely make sure that I am at the doctor's office regularly, not like every other month, but I make sure to keep up with my appointments. Having said that, where's my marker? I have to use another marker. I need to make a mammogram important appointment. Sorry, y'all. I'm one of those people that process while I'm going. So hold on. Mammogram. So I definitely need to make a mammogram appointment. And if you are watching this and you are a young lady, you definitely should go and get a mammogram, make a mammogram appointment. It's important for you to understand, like, get those things ahead of time. It was I was fortunate to have a mammogram several years ago, and it was abnormal. Is that the word? It was abnormal, and so I had to have several mammograms. And luckily, what they saw was no longer there. So but you definitely want to go to get regular checkups, general checkups. You want to go get your lady parts checked up, doctor's visits. You want to get all of those things. You want to make sure that you are good, especially given that we are currently in a global pandemic. And you want to make sure you're good. You want to make sure health wise you're good. You want to make sure that you get enough sleep. They say 8 to 10 hours, 7 to 8 hours. I don't know how many hours, but I make sure that I get at least 8. Because I don't know if y'all realize it, but when you don't get enough sleep, you just running on fumes. And some stuff you could put off to another day, but you be trying to make that decision right away. No, don't do it. Just go ahead and give yourself that time. And I eat nutritious. I find myself eating a lot of nuts. Pause. But I find myself eating healthier. Like I had went and I want to. This is my vision, right? I want to do raw vegan. That's what I want to do. Raw vegan. And so I went and I got like they got heart of palm, pasta, cauliflower rice, like all these different instead of the actual, carbohydrates I wanted to do. And so I was like, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try it and see if, how I like it. I'm gonna try. Another thing that I've discovered on my journey of healing and self-discovery, is that my emotional state is so important. You have the physical state, that's your physical body, and you have the mental state. We're gonna talk about that in a minute, but it's your your state, emotional state. Um, how do you manage stress? Before before this journey of healing and self-discovery, I'm gonna tell y'all how I learned this, right? So on this journey of healing and self-discovery, I would like previous to now, I would like whenever things got real, like, I just need to figure it out. I would go and get me a cherry Pepsi, some peanut M&Ms, and 2 packs of the Frito-Lay sunflower seeds. I don't know what it did to my mind, but it like convinced my mind. It like calmed it, like totally calmed it. I think it was the cracking of the sunflower seeds, the salt. I don't know what it was, but it totally calmed it. And then now it's just like, I don't want to do that. I will meditate. I will ask myself, like, if I get angry, I will say, what am I actually angry about? Like, I will allow myself space to be angry. I will allow myself space to be sad. I'll allow myself space because what I feel like, what I realized about myself is I called myself shutting my emotions off. That's what I said I was doing. I shut my emotions off. You're not gonna see me cry. You're not gonna I'm not gonna lash out on you. You're not gonna see none of that. I'm just gonna be cold. That's what I became. I didn't intend to become cold, but I became cold. Like my emotions, I didn't care. I just didn't care. Now I care, just not as much as I care. I care. I'm not even gonna do that. I care. And I was able to see myself. I was able to see I'm angry. Like so I said to myself, it's like my entire life, I'm 43 years old. My entire life I've been happy, I've been sad, I've been bitter, I've been angry, um, I've been depressed, I've been happy, I've been all kinds of things, right? But it wasn't until these last 4 years that I actually allowed myself to be those things. I actually allowed myself to be those things. Like I allowed myself to feel sadness, to understand like, hey, this you failed at this and here's what we learned from failing and don't be so hard on yourself. Like that was one thing that I really had to acknowledge that I was more harder on myself than anyone could ever be towards me. I was more harder on myself. And I was like, no, you got to give yourself some space. You never I've been navigating things for 43 years that no one ever taught me how to do. No one ever showed me, taught me, instructed me. All of those are the same thing. But no one ever was like, hey, this is how you do it. I was just out here doing it. And so I was like, you have to give yourself grace because it could have ended far worse than that, far worse than that. But you're here, you're made it. So it is time for you to understand that being angry is okay. It's okay to be angry, long as you don't harm yourself or anyone else. That's a part of us being humans. We're going to be angry. We're going to be sad sometimes. It's okay to be sad. I remember the first 2 years of this journey, I cried like every second, minute, hour. I cried. And when I say cried, I don't mean like cry. I mean like snot bubbles, boo-hoo, eyes puffy cuz I cried. I was so sad. I was so sad and I got to thank the people around me for allowing me that space and time to be sad and then saying, "Okay, it's enough. It's time for you to pick yourself up." And in that, I found compassion for myself. You know, it's easy for us or for some people, it's easy to give other people compassion, but what about the compassion for yourself? That's why I said, you know what? I realized I was being so hard. I would find myself giving other people like give other people pass. I'm gonna give you a pass because you ain't really know. I ain't really tell you. But I never gave myself passes. I never gave myself like, oh, you could do better. You should have known. But there's no way I could have known. No one told me. And I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just saying if no one has told you like, hey, it's okay to be angry. Like I have nieces and nephews and I let them cry. I let them be angry and I ask them, why are you angry? I feel like if more adults had somebody to ask them, why are they angry? Why are you sad? What has made you depressed? Like if someone asks them the actual questions, they'll probably feel more comfortable talking about their situations. Like right now, I for the last 4 years have been suggesting that people go to therapy. Most people was like, I don't need therapy. I got God, Buddha, Allah, whoever, whatever deity you serve. And I say the perfect balance is the deity and therapy. It's a perfect balance. It's a perfect balance for me. But for me, it's just like I feel like a lot of people um haven't had the space where they can be comfortable saying how they feel. A lot of people are afraid of what other people may say based on what they feel. And for me, it's just like if we can have that's why I created the nurturing conversations because I wanted people to have a safe space where they can come and be like, hey, this is how I'm feeling today. And there's always, I know we probably feel like we are the only person that is going through those things, but someone else, especially if they are older, and even sometimes people younger than us have been through those things. I'm one of the people that I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna tell you how I overcame it. I'll tell y'all, I experienced a really bad breakup a couple of years ago. And now I'm in a place where I could actually talk about it. It's crazy because it happened 4 years ago, but I'm actually in a place right now, 4 years later, where I could actually talk about it without crying or feeling any kind of way. I had a really bad breakup. And I was so like wrapped up in the fact that, oh, this is the person that I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. Like, I was excited. This is like, we got businesses, all of this is going. And then it was just like, ah ha ha, you thought you had a friend And so I tried to work it away. I'm gonna tell you, I'm being it's total transparency. This is a nurture conversation. I tried to work. I dove so far into my business that I worked. Anytime a thought came up, I worked. Anytime a feeling came up, I worked. And then I had to sit down one day and I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to deny myself feelings. I don't want to push down my emotions. I just want to feel. I want to be human. I want to love. I want to change everything about me so that I can be a better person for what's to come later in my life. I want to change. And so then they was like, you should go on a journey of healing and self-discovery. And if you've been on social media, like healing and health and all these things are like everybody's doing it now. And so I was like, but this was 4 years ago. But I was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go on a journey of healing and self discovery. I came here, and was like, yeah, y'all, I'm gonna go on a journey of healing and self discovery. And in my mind was like, oh, it's gonna be cool because I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna juice, I'm gonna do some meditations, I'm gonna do some yogas. It was sweet. It was sweet. As I started walking on this journey, I started crying. I hadn't cried since I was like 12 or 13. Like I real life hadn't cried. Like I was like, I'm just going that shit don't mean nothing. I gave a disclaimer about cursing. That shit don't mean nothing. I'm good. I'm gonna let it roll off my back. It rolled off my back, but it didn't leave my mind. So I'm walking on this journey. I'm like, yeah, this is actually pretty cool. I'm juicing, I'm working out, I'm getting fit. Everything is cool. And then life, hey, extremely cold. Life was like, okay, now we're gonna get to the real. And one day, sorry if it's TMI, I was in the shower and I just started bawling. And I heard myself say, I'm sorry. And I was like, what are we sorry for? And then it was like, I don't know if y'all see those movies where it's like you get transported. I got transported back to the 8-year-old me. And I had made a promise to myself. Oh, excuse me. I had made a promise to myself. And my current self was telling my my 8-year-old self that I'm sorry. And I found myself in the bottom of my bathtub with the water running down on me, crying like a baby. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for this journey of healing and self-discovery because if it's gonna be anything like this, so condensed version, I felt abandoned by my parents. I felt abandoned by my parents, which turned into rejection, a fear of rejection. And so I became a people pleaser and I was doing all of those things. But this is all what I learned. Like, it wasn't like, ooh, this is what I learned on the journey. This is like, I was going through different experiences and life was like, see, this is why you do this. This is why this happens. And I was just like, oh my God. And if somebody be like, hey, do you love yourself? Of course, everybody gonna be like, yeah, I love myself. And so it was like, do you really love yourself? And then it started showing me different things. And I was like, oh my God. I was quick to say, yeah, I love myself. But then it'd be like, I'm going to give you all a scenario, right? And you probably like, this don't mean that you don't love yourself. So when it comes to physical, right? You be dog tired, just dog like, oh, I'm finally about to go home and get in the bed. And somebody call like, hey girl, could you run me over here? I need to go to the grocery store. And you already know that grocery store runs. I don't know if y'all know, but grocery store runs never is 30. Don't be at a grocery store by a Target or a Walmart because you're not gonna be at home for 4 more hours after that. So people were calling me like I'm dog tired, but I still be like, yeah, hold on, I'm on my way to get you. Or I would just put everyone else in front of myself, right? And life, I feel like life was really trying to say it's time to think about you. It's time to think about you. And I'm saying, like, oh, I'm thinking about myself because why? I'm going to buy myself stuff. I'm buying eye masks. I'm going to the spa. I'm doing all of those things, right? But I wasn't really caring about myself. I was putting myself on the back. Oh, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Oh, you need me? I'll come over here again because I told you I was a people pleaser. I was doing everything, and I'm not smiling because I'm happy about it. I'm smiling because I am grateful that I was able to see that. Able to see that. I said to myself when I was 18, I was like, you know what? One day I'm gonna be a millionaire, right? I'm gonna be a millionaire. And so when I turned 40, I thought about it, right? I said, if I would have been a millionaire when I was in my teens, my 20s, my 30s, I would be broke. I would be broke. Let me tell y'all why I would be broke. Because at those times, I ain't saying I was having money, but I was having money. And people will call and be like, oh, I can't pay my light bill. Oh, don't even worry. I got you. Then I'm sending over, oh, I'm behind on my rent. Oh, I got you. And I'm not saying it like, y'all know what I'm saying. Like I was giving, I would give. You give me a story, I will give. I would be going, you ever go to the gas station or on the island? I don't know where y'all live, but on the island here where you pull up at the light, there's somebody holding a sign, and I would give. I started keeping stuff in my truck just so I can give them like a bag lunch or something. I'm a giver. I'm a giver. To this day, I still give. I just know that there's constraints and when I give. But at that time, I wasn't looking at it like that. I wasn't looking at it like I'm just trying to get people's affection, get people to. I wasn't looking at it like that. I was just looking at it like, yeah, I'm out here, doing a great work. But then the journey of healing and self discovery showed me, like, no, this is what it really is. And when you really see yourself, I'm not talking about when you look in the mirror and be like, oh, I'm cute. But when you look in the mirror and you actually look at yourself and you see, why am I doing that? Why? You ever been in a relationship and stuff happen and you be looking like, I wish a motherfucker would do that to me? You ever said that before in your life? And then you ever had a motherfucker actually do it? And then you ever just sit there and be like, hey, Famaki, you ever just sit there and be like, damn, I can't even believe this happened. How did I get here? That's where I was at. I was like, I never, no, ain't nobody gonna ever. I wish a motherfucker would. And then the motherfucker had did it, and I was just like, hell no. I can't believe you had the audacity. Then that was my ego had kicked in. I can't believe you had the audacity to do something like that to me. And life was like, we gonna bring all of that back. So I literally went from 8 all the way up into 43. And now, I don't know if y'all follow me on YouTube, but I say, love yourself, know yourself, trust yourself, and just be yourself, right? I did not even pay attention until the other day. The other day, I was saying it in a video. I was saying it in a video, and I just paused because I said, oh my God, I'm looking at the camera and I'm talking to you guys, but I'm actually talking to myself because I started to say trust yourself, and it just like a feeling came over me. That's why I'm saying you gotta let your emotions go. I'm a Cancer too. I'm gonna just throw that out there because people be like, "Oh, you Cancers are always." Hey, listen, I don't even care at this point. I'm 43, about to be 44. I love everybody. So I'm sitting here like bawling, like, "Oh my God, I had to learn to love myself. I had to learn to know myself. This entire journey of healing and self discovery, this is what it's been about: loving myself, knowing who I am. I know who I am. I know I'm a loving person. I know I care about human beings. I know that I will go above and beyond for the people that I love. I don't care who you are. I don't care if I know you, like if I love you, if I have a connection, your energy is good, I'm gonna rock with you all day, every day. I know that. I just know I'm not gonna go past my own boundaries, but I know me. I know that I have a passion for making sure that music creatives get money for the music that they create. I know me. I know that I am a teacher. I know that I'm a healer. I know those things, right? However, I was allowing the different things that I experienced in my life to like shadow all of that. I was just being a figure of everyone's imagination. Oh, if I need call Chelle, she got it. That's who I was. But these last 4 years, when I turned 40, I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't. At a point, you get tired. I got tired. At a point, I just got tired. Like, no, I don't want to live my life like this. I don't want to people please. I don't want to do stuff so people won't reject. I don't want to do that. So it ended up with me going to talk to my parents, right? Um, I talked to my mom first because I was living with my mom, but I talked to my mom first and I was just telling her how I felt and what I thought. And then I started to realize like I had bitterness towards my mom. My mom put me in predominantly white schools. My mom made sure that I had everything that I could possibly have to be great. My mom did that, right? She did that. But I only focused on the negative things, the things I felt she could have did better. And so while as I was talking to her, I started to hear myself saying the things that I was saying, and I was like, "Holy shit." I was so consumed with bitterness and so consumed with my own thoughts on what and how and people should have treated me and people should have did that I was minimalizing whatever the word is, the things that were actually happening. So um I was talking to my mom, telling her everything, and I'm just watching her face, and then she started talking to me, and then I in that moment, in the moment, it was like she's still my mom, but in that moment, she became a human to me. Like, my mom has always been like a superwoman to me, like, totally. But in that moment, she became human to me because I realized she has a past too. She's a human being too. She's a human being and she did the best that she could with us and she set us up in positions. When I tell y'all, my mother used to send us to school on Saturdays. We hated it, but when I think back to it, right? I am so grateful for it. That's how I learned how to navigate computer. I've been able to navigate a computer and find people and do all kinds of things. If you picking up what I'm putting down, I've been able to know how to do that since I was like 12, 13, 16. Way back then, my mama put us in Saturday school. We hated it, but I'm telling y'all, my mama set me up for this moment right here. So I'm talking to her, she telling me about her life, and I'm just looking at her like, "Oh my God, you human." And I started crying like, "Oh my God, my mama is human." And I know you're probably laughing like, "Hey, duh, she's," but I didn't see her like that. I saw her as my mother who could have did better. But in that moment, it was like, okay, she's human. And I was like, I was crying. I was like, oh my God. I felt like a part, like that elephant, I felt like half of it lifted up off of me. So I was like, okay, let me go talk to my father. Talking to my father, I'm running him down the same thing. Like, hey, I'm about to be, you ain't never been here. I got birthday cards and money and all that stuff, but I will give all of that back just to have. And my father said, 2 years before you were born, you had a sister and she died. And he's like, nobody taught me about grief. Oh, I started crying again. I said, if this is how this journey gonna be, I don't think I'm gonna go on it. I was just, me talking shit because so I'm looking at him and he got emotional and I got emotional. I was just like, oh my God, he's human. We don't think about I kid you not, you probably look at your mama like, yeah, that's my mama. But you don't think about her, how she grew up, where she grew up, what she experienced during her lifetime. Like we really don't be thinking about that because you my mama. If I ask you for $20, you're just supposed to give it to me because I'm your child. But we don't really think about it. Like we don't really think about like I used to think about my mother, like she used to like cook, but I don't think I've ever seen my mother eat until I got grown. I that blew my mind. It was so many things I started to think about, like, "Oh my God." I was so consumed with me that I wasn't even paying attention to her. So, 2021, shoot, these last 4 years have been a whirlwind. So I'm glad I went on this journey of healing and self-discovery. I'm glad that I learned to care for myself, right? So 2021, I lost my father 2 days after Thanksgiving. And so I am sad, y'all. I am sad. I lost the person that I thought was the love of my life. I've now lost my father. I am in sadness. And I'm coming here and I'm sharing it with you guys because I'm like, I want y'all to see. Listen, I'm human. I'm human. I make mistakes. I'm never gonna be like, ooh, look at me, because y'all can go look at my YouTube channel. I done told y'all my entire story. My mama told y'all my birthing story, and I done told y'all all the way up to 43. I ain't never about that life. I'm gonna tell you who I am, the things I overcome. I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh yeah, 2022 is gonna be a year. You be happy because it's like who we made it through that December. When I say sad, y'all, I'm gonna throw it out there. I was probably depressed. Not probably, I was depressed. I was going through it. My father, we had just built a relationship. Like how the man just came into my life. We hanging out, he cooking. He's a good cook too. He's cooking, we laughing, we joking, we doing all this stuff. How? I only get 6 years. How? So then, 2022 come in and I'm all excited. And then one day I get a call like, hey, your mama acting weird, some weird stuff going on. And so I'm like, I'm on my way. This is the one time I didn't care how tired I was. I'm on my way. I go get my mama and weird. It's weird. So I take her right to the hospital. We ain't stop and go. We ain't calling nobody else. We going right to the hospital. And this is during COVID. It wasn't, the restrictions wasn't too. So I go and they like, your mom's having strokes and her blood vessels from her organs to her brain is narrowing and we don't know. And I'm like, y'all don't know what? They're like, we don't know what's going on. Like we don't know how we just have to monitor. And while from the time I took her there into the time like she was still having strokes. And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? And so I lost now I lost the love of my life, my father, and this happens to my mother. And I'm like, oh my God, this is too much. I can't do it. Throw my hands up. I don't know what we about to do, but we got to figure something out. So my mom recovers. She still has complications, but we're working through that. She recovers. And then I fall. I noticed my stomach getting big. You probably heard this story before, but if you haven't, hey, I'm telling you, it's about self-care, taking care of yourself. So I've been working out. I'm juicing. It's like 2022 is like the third year of me working out and juicing, and I'm all excited. And I started noticing my stomach getting big, and I'm like, I'm bloated. I'm bloated. I don't even know. I had never been bloated before. I was like, I'm bloated. And my stomach had got really huge, and I was like, okay, something is going on. Fell down 5 stairs, just 5, the bottom of the bottom stairs. And I caught myself going to the emergency room, go to urgent care. I went to the urgent care. That's like, no, go to the emergency room. Long story short, hemorrhaging, mass growing on the inside, cancerous. That's all I heard. That's all I heard. It probably was some other stuff, but after cancer, it was just like, woof. I don't know. So this is 2022 now. I just had all of that happen in 2020, 2021, 2022, right? I'm sitting here like, how is this my life? Like, I'm, I'm a good person. You start. I was like, I'm a good person. I don't be doing shitty things to people. I don't. I believe in karma, so I'm gonna treat people right. I'm gonna do good by people, even when people do the shittiest things to me. I still love them. I will still root for them. I will still do all of that. How is this happening to me right now? They were like, okay, you need to have surgery. This is what's going on. They asked me, do I want to do chemo or what are my plans for the cancer? And I'm just looking at them like, I'm about to be so high. Disclaimer, I don't smoke or do any of those things right now, but I was like, I'm about to be so high. I don't care. I'm not doing no, it's a no. No. I had experience with people who have had breast cancer, and it's a no. My granny passed away from it's a no. It's a no for me. And they were like, "Oh, Miss White, you gotta." I was like, "It's a no. I'll have the surgery. I will. I will do that." And so March of 2022, I had the surgery. They was like, "Oh my God, you should start healing. You should be okay." And then they couldn't really tell me anything. They was like, "Oh, you gotta wait 12 days," and those was the most nerve-wracking 12 days ever. And they were like, "Oh my God." Well, actually, they did tell me after I came to. They was like, "Oh, we had to." The mass was so large, it pushed all of your organs over to the left side. So we had to remove, and they told me all the things they had to remove. And it was just like, holy shit. Like, when you have an idea of like, oh, I want to have kids, and you thinking about it, and it's like, and then they like you go to surgery, and then you wake up and they're like, oh, we had to. That's gonna be a whole story time. That's gonna be a whole story time. Anyway, so I had the surgery in 2022. I'm healing. I'm thinking in myself like, okay, let me just, I can do it. So I got up and I'm trying to move around, and then I kept hearing in the back of my head, if you move too fast, or you could have hernias and all this stuff. And I was just like, I guess I better sit down. So I literally sat down from March all the way to December of 2022. And then I'm like building myself back up. 2023 come. Um Everything is smooth. We running smooth. Everything is running smooth. I'm starting to get back into the field for business. I'm doing the concert. I'm doing the concert series the whole time this is happening. I'm doing the concert series. I'm getting back to myself. Everything is doing good. And then September hit, and then one of my favorite people in the whole wide world is my twin brother. He gets sick. And I'm just looking like, okay, enough is enough. Enough is enough. And I said to myself, like, I told my godmother this one time. I said, nobody tells you that the things that happen to you are things that just happen to you. Like, you don't have to carry those things around with you. Like, it's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to like be angry. It's okay for you to scream. Have you ever just screamed and just felt like a release? Oh, I done figured out all different non-violent ways to like release. So I literally bawled my eyes out because this is my twin brother. Like, this is me and him. Like, we are like, listen. So he's on the cusp. He's doing much better. He's doing better now. And so I'm like, okay, cool. My business, everything is taking off. Everything is doing good. December, I catch the flu. I was concerned because, there was a rise and so then I had the flu from December all the way to January. Then they talking about vertigo or January. And then my favorite cousin passed away. And I was just like, I haven't experienced loss on this level in a long time, but I'm in a different space in my life where I could actually experience loss. Before it's just like, oh, it's cool. I understand grief now. I understand grief. I'm not saying that I understand it, I'm the expert on it, but I understand grief. Like, you have to allow yourself time. You have to allow yourself to feel that, right? So I'm feeling all of these different things. And before it'll be like, no, I don't want to feel it, but it makes me feel alive. Like, I could feel the blood. I don't have the pressure, the weight of feeling rejection or any of those things. Like, my life is like, it's peaceful. It's peaceful, right? I spoke all about the emotions because I want to get to the mental self-care, right? Usually, like I told y'all, when I get stressed out, I'm going to get a Pepsi. Oh, it wasn't just any Pepsi, it was a cherry Pepsi. And then I started liking vanilla Cokes. Jeez. 2 packs of sunflower seeds and peanut M&Ms, right? But when I started the journey of healing self-discovery, I started meditating. I started doing meditation practice. I even started doing yoga. I always wanted to do it, but I was afraid to do it. But then I started doing it, and then I realized how much of a peaceful state it puts you in. Usually, when things happen around you, you be like, "Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta solve this. I gotta clear this. I gotta say this. I gotta." Mm-mm. I'm in a space now. It's like, hey, whatever these people say is what they say. Whatever they do is what they do. I'm not gonna try to clear up anything because I know myself. I know what I did. Y'all see how calm I got right there? That's where my life been. Calm. I said January 2022, I'm gonna be light, love, and positivity for every day of the rest of my life. And that's literally what I do. Light, love, and positivity. That's all I want to radiate every day. I started doing things like creating it helped me get back into the creative mode. So I started creating meditation music. I created guided meditations. I'm doing daily affirmations. I'm doing all these different things. And for me, I thought that was like it was off limits to me. I thought it was something that I couldn't do because my life was so trauma. It was so much trauma in my life that I couldn't even breathe. Y'all see, I couldn't even, it just felt heavy. It felt heavy. It felt so heavy. I started paying attention to things that made me feel uncomfortable. That's why I say you got to know and trust yourself. I started paying attention to things, started paying attention to people you ever notice, you ever ask yourself, why are we friends? You ever ask somebody, why are we friends? You ever thought about that? Or you just be like, okay, because we grew up, I've known you a long time, but you ever evaluate the people around you? When I was going through this, I was so grateful for, especially when I had the surgery. I was so grateful because I didn't tell a lot of people. I didn't tell it. I even told y'all after the fact. I told y'all after the fact that I had surgery because in my mind, I had to be in such a place where I just had to be. This is where I had to be. I knew that I couldn't tell certain people because certain people be emotional and then they gonna make me feel. I told my strongest soldiers. When I tell you I got some strong people around me, I told my strongest soldiers, and them people kept me right here. They kept me right here the entire time. The entire time. So as I'm going through these different things, my strongest people was around me. They were keeping me lifted. When I after the breakup, I had my sisters came over and brought me chicken. We laughed, we cried, we watched movies, we did all kinds of stuff. And it was just like it's great to have a support system. It's so great to have a support system. That's why I'm grateful for the people that I am surrounding myself with. And they allowed me to be in that state. They watched over me, they protected me, they made sure that I was good in that state. So my mental, I was able to clearly process everything. It was like I had shit from like 18, like my teens, my 20s. I was just threw it in the back. You know, you like, oh, it's rolling off my black. Back. It's in the back of your head. It's in the closet back there. It's in the closet. You just throw it back there. You ever wonder why somebody talking loud or smacking like bothers you? Like it's something in the back of there that like it's in the back of there. It's back there. So I began to like just do puzzles. I love to read. I started reading autobiographies. Y'all know I got a speech impediment. Autobiographies. I started reading other people's lives and it was just like, oh my God. A lot of people went through so much shit and then they still had the courage to be great. I said to myself, I always said I'm going to push past fear and walk in greatness. And last Sunday, I was like, you know what? Forget it. This is what I'm going to do. I got tons of videos. I got tons of content already created. It's just when it comes to uploading or sharing it, I get a little, I started thinking, oh, maybe the lighting could have right. I could have been said this. And then I look at and it's like something on my eye or something on my lip. And it's just like, no, I'm not going to upload it. But I'm uploading it. Y'all gonna get all kinds of video, all kinds of content, and not just no rinky dink content. Content. Y'all gonna get good content. Um, I uh saw this event, right? There's this Summerfest. Summerfest is the largest music festival in the world. It's right here in my backyard. Not literally in my backyard, but I live in Wisconsin. It's in Wisconsin. And so I would see they had a tech conference, convention, or whatever right before or during the Summerfest. And so I would see it, and I have a music tech company, and I was like, I'm gonna submit my company, right? I'm gonna submit. And I tricked myself every time. I will say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna say I'm gonna do it. I see the date, and I made to put a post it every time. Big old post it. This is the day you got to submit your stuff in, right? I go and I'll do a little bit of the application. I was like, okay, I know I got to this day to do it. And then I'd be so consumed with other things. I would literally do other things so that when this date come, oh man, I missed the deadline. That's okay because I do it next year. And then it just kept I'm gonna tell you, I'm one of those people that'd be like, it'd be a long time. So this year I saw it. I'm pushing past fear. I'm walking in greatness all 2024 and beyond. I'm walking in greatness. I saw it. I said, you know what? I read it. They was like, you need 6 videos, a pitch deck. You need an overview of your product. And I was like, I'm going to do it. I downloaded everything that I needed to be successful. And I got that application in, submitted it. And now it's just like, whew, that felt great. I thought I was going to do something. I actually did it. Like for me, not for like anybody else, but for me. And so yesterday we went to the Longhorn to celebrate. I thought I was going to get some lamb chops, but that didn't work. But I'm so excited just at the fact that I actually submitted it. Like I actually did all of the things and I submitted it. And I'm like, hey, um, I shared it on my socials today. Like I actually did it. Like that for me was like, I don't know. I'm so excited because I was like, I actually did it, y'all. Like I actually stopped pussyfooting around and actually submitted the application. I did all the requirements and I submitted it. And now it's just like they're gonna pick me because they're gonna pick me. They gonna pick me. They gonna pick me. And then I'm gonna come back and be like, y'all, they picked me. Anywho, but it's all about making sure that you are physically, emotionally, and mentally there. You are your best self. You are doing everything that you need to do for you. Loving yourself first, putting yourself first. I know, like, people always be in relationships, putting yourself first. When you wake up in the morning, what do you want to do? I said 2024, I want to host a series of music business seminars. I got the concert series that I'm hosting. I want to talk more about entrepreneurial things because maybe you want to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to record an album. Maybe you want to start a podcast. I can share the tips and tricks that I know, the things that I wish I would have knew before I jumped out here starting a podcast. There's a lot of things I wish I would have knew. I got my first podcast I ever did is 60 seconds. It's a minute. It's a minute. Podcast for music artists. And people was like, no, it's not going people are not gonna pay attention because it has to be like 15 hours. It gotta be anywhere from 1 to 2 hours, maybe 15. 15 minutes. They told me a lot of stuff. And I was just like, no, I'm gonna do 1 minute, 60 seconds. Quick. You can click it, listen to it. Oh, that's dope. And you'll play it again. And then actually, I just did it to like, okay, I'm going to do a podcast. And it turns out it's actually doing pretty good. And then I got the Nurturing Conversations podcast, and that's doing pretty good too. So I'm saying all this to say the thing you've been sitting on, the thing that you've been wanting to do, but you're like, oh, I need this, I need that. All the stuff that I have right now, I worked my way up to it. I remember when I first started making music, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make music." And my brother had this nice keyboard. I'm about to show it to y'all. My brother had this keyboard that I wanted, and he was like, "You don't even make music," and I was like, "I do make music." And so I one day just sat down and was like, "I'm gonna make." I said, "I'm gonna make some music." And then I had made some music, and I sent it to him, and he was like, "Oh, you really are making music?" And so he sent me the keyboard. He gave it to me. And I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and do what I need to do because I'm sitting around here just sitting around here when I know the things that I want to do that I could do, but I'm not doing because I'm stopping myself. It's not nobody outside of me stopping me. It's me. I said, tomorrow, tomorrow, Monday motivation is get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. It ain't no one else is stopping us. It's just us. We have ideas, we have hopes, we have dreams, we have aspirations. We keep feeling like nobody believes in me, nobody supports me. Um, Nobody wants to do. You got to be the first person to believe in yourself. You got to be the first person to support yourself. People are only going to see they're going to see what they see. And if you not letting them, it's a no. It's a no. You got to show yourself. You got to be yourself, show yourself, and let people know who you are. Fuck being humble. You heard it here first. Fuck being humble. Go look up the definition of humble. I looked that up and I was like, people telling me to be humble. It's a no. I'm about to talk my shit all 2024 and beyond. It's a no. That's the problem. A lot of people trying to be humble, then they diminish their light because they don't want to make other people feel bad. No, fuck that. You turn your light all the way up. Either people are going to come and get a tan under your light, or they're going to come and, you know, absorb some of your light and go be great. Turn it up. That's what we doing. We turning our lights up. We gonna rest. We gonna eat well. We gonna work out. We gonna move. You say work out, people like, oh, my knees, my back, my left hip, my right hip, my ankle. Move. Just move. If you walk circles around your living room or from your kitchen to your living room, just move. Go up and down your stairs a couple of times. I'm gonna have exercises where it's just you in a chair. It's just you and a chair. It's we be thinking these grandiose things when it's just the small things. When I tell y'all, I have so much joy from just submitting an application that I looked at for. It's actually been 5 years. I looked at the application. I kept saying I was going to do it. I'm gonna do it. Deadline passed. Oh man, the deadline done passed. I guess I just have to wait till next year. And I was content with that. This year I said this is not gonna pass me by this year. It's a no. Everything. I said I want to do t-shirts for my concert series and I, reaching out to different people. People's like, oh yeah, we'll do the t-shirts. They ain't come. I went right on Canva and figured out how to do my own t-shirts. Y'all see me this week. I'll have on a t-shirt for my concert series. I'm about that life. I used to delegate stuff to people and I felt disappointed when they wouldn't do it. It's okay. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay. Cause life will do that to you. Life will do that to you, especially when you depend on other people. They're gonna disappoint you, and sometimes have not a care in the world that they do. But it's okay. Allow yourself to feel that feeling because you know why? As long as you are alive, you're gonna feel disappointment. You're gonna feel hurt. You're gonna feel happiness. You're gonna feel joy. You're gonna feel anger, bitterness. You're gonna feel all of these things. This is important for you to learn and experience those feelings so that every time you don't have to react. I started to think like it was so many things when I was younger. I was like, I don't know why these motherfuckers in my season age of 43 say what you want to say. If you know me, if you come to my channels, if you hang out with me, you talk to me, if you know me and can't tell my character from you knowing me to what somebody else said, we wasn't meant to be friends. You wasn't meant to be around me anyways. Before it was like, I don't want people to leave. I don't want everybody now. It's like, bye. See ya. And I don't wish no ill will on you. I want you to be good. I want you to be great. I want you and your life to be successful. That's what I want for you. I said, let me come and talk about self-care because I don't think people be telling us how to maintain ourselves. If you have a feeling, I told some people on a previous podcast, I was like, if your parents didn't do right by you, if you feel like your parents didn't do right by you, you don't have to go to their house. You don't have to go to holidays. You don't have to do none of that. You don't. Especially you're grown. You don't have to do that. We just be going because that's our mama, that's our daddy, that's my grandma, that's my cousin, that's my sister, that's my brother. But you gotta look at yourself first. If you're not comfortable in that environment, if you're not comfortable, don't take your kids to that environment. Don't subject your kids to that. That's why I be telling people to go to therapy because there's things that we need to be healed from. We need to be healed and not saying like the therapist is gonna touch you or you're gonna lay on that couch and it's gonna be like, ooh, everything is gone. Because they're gonna show you the proper ways to cope with things. Because a lot of people be drinking, smoking, sexing, working, all those things to try to like not deal with the shit. It's 2024. You're surviving a global fucking pandemic. Start dealing with shit. I'm gonna tell you, I made so much space in my mind, in my heart, in my body. Like I acknowledged the things that happened. I acknowledged the traumas that happened to me. I wasn't just trying to keep them down. I told somebody, I said to this very day, I still can. I hate the smell of the Nautica men cologne, Nautica men, Aspen, and Hugo Boss. Hate the smell of them. Maybe one day I'll get past it and I don't know. Right now it's a no, but maybe one day. But that's the things that I learned about myself on this journey of healing and self-discovery, going through therapy, realizing like, hey, a lot of this shit I don't have to carry around with me. It's not even mine to carry. Shit that happened to me, it was them. It's okay to put that down. Your mama didn't treat you how you thought your mama should have. It's okay for you to put that down. It's okay for you to go and have a conversation with her too, especially if you are a parent. Go talk to your parents. Maybe they treated you like shit. Maybe it was the black sheep of the family. Go talk to them. Get that off of you. Tell them how you feel, especially if you have kids, because then your trials and tribulations and traumas indirectly affect them. That's why I'm so grateful I was able to talk to my mother and father. I'm so grateful I have a relationship with my brothers. I don't have any sisters. I do have sisters, they're my god sisters, but I'm grateful for those relationships. I'm grateful to be the greatest auntie this side of heaven. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to spend time with my nieces and nephews, like real time with them. I'm grateful for that. When I was growing up, I had opportunities. I remember my uncle bought me this Pelly Pet. I don't know if y'all know about Pelly Pet, but my uncle bought me this. I think it was a New York City skyline green Pelly Pet. Oh, I love that coat. I wore it everywhere. He bought me that and he bought me an Usher chain. Y'all remember Usher used to have that big U? Oh, I loved it. Loved it. Hated it when it was I lost it. Hated it. But I loved it because I thought like this it's dope to hang out with your aunties and uncles. That's so dope. I be looking at my nieces and nephews and they fathers be like, but y'all don't do nothing. I was like, yeah, it might not look like we don't do anything to you, but we is kicking it. I done taught them how to do karaoke. I done taught them how to paint. I taught them how to make beats. My nephew taught me how to play Warzone Mobile. We teaching each other stuff. We out here helping each other. My niece just called. She won first place in the some kind of event she had doing mental health in the youth. I said, look at me out here inspiring the next generation of people. That's what I want. I want my life to be an inspiration. I want my life to empower other people to know that regardless of all the traumas, the shit that you've been through in your life, you can still be great. You can still be great. Don't let anybody hold shit over your head. You used to steal. So what? You don't steal anymore. Hopefully, you don't steal anymore. You were molested. That doesn't define you. It never defined me. It doesn't define you. You are greater than what those people tried to make you out to be. You are greater than that. Your mom said you wasn't gonna be shit. You are greater than that. You are somebody. We got to start speaking to ourselves. I said myself. We got to start speaking to ourselves, and that's why this week you're gonna see during the morning. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do it at 8 because I usually meditate at 6, but I think I'm going to do it at 9. Every morning at 9, I'm going to upload a video of a positive affirmation you can say to yourself that inspired is going to inspire, encourage, motivate you to be great every day for the rest of this time that I am here on earth. Because somebody needs to tell you that you are beautiful, you are handsome, you are smart, you are intelligent, you are you. Somebody needs to tell us that. We need to hear that. I went to therapy. They said it takes 17 positive things to counteract one negative things. If you're on social media, shit, that's gonna take a whole lot. Cause y'all be scrolling social media, it be so much stuff. I don't be scrolling. I post what I'm gonna post and I get off. If I do get on, it's because hey, y'all, I'm about to go live and they tell you go like some stuff and comment on some stuff, and then people gonna come and see it live. I do that. I'm not gonna act like I don't. I do that. Other than that, that scrolling, I don't do that. It's dangerous. You know, people be taking mental health breaks or social media breaks. That's real. You have to. You have to. I'm an emotional person. I'm an empath. That's one thing. I'm an empath. I'm an emotional person. I real life. I don't be around a lot of people because I real life. I can't take it. It'd be a lot. It'd be a lot for me. It'd be a lot, especially when I be seeing people in my current state, and I be seeing people being mean to kids and doing stuff to kids. It's a no for me. It's a no. It's a no. No, it's a hell no for me. And I want to come today and say, hey, it is time that you look out for yourself. I know you got siblings. I know you got parents. I know you probably got kids. It's time for you to make sure that you are good. Once you make sure that you are good, everyone around you will be good because you will radiate that. I radiate light, love, and positivity. All the people around me feel it. I'm pretty sure some of you guys feel it, guys, girls, and non-binary people, because I'm real life about that life. I've never been somebody to just be talking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do and don't do. I might be late doing it. I might half-ass do it. That's when it comes to me, things that comes to me. But when I say I'm gonna do something, oh, I'm definitely gonna do it. Especially, I'm gonna get it done. And I want to come and say, you guys, we got to take care of ourselves. We have to. We have to. We didn't survive a global fucking pandemic to just be sitting around twiddling our fingers. I'm sure that's not why we are here. We are here because maybe you have a vision to write a book. Maybe you have a topic that you like, oh, this would be a great book. We need that book. Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel where you reviewing other people's music or you reviewing movies or you actually just giving your opinion on something. You never know who you will inspire to be great. You never know. I've been inspired by some of the most I will call them like things where it's just like, you that inspired you? Yes, it inspires me. I watch I watch The Voice. I watch all the singing shows, right? American Idol. And what I realize is they want people to have a story. Your story matters. Your story matters. Your story matters. You might not think it does, but it does matter. It matters. It might not matter to me, but maybe it matters to somebody else. Your story matters. I thought about all the things that I experienced. I thought about my mom, right? My mom is such an amazing person. I watch my mom give so much to so many different people, and I just continue to look and like, how? When you're growing up, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna be. I'm ex- I'm so much like my mom that I didn't realize that I'm really my mom. Like I love people and I love them to a fault. And sometimes I should not be just caring. I should just be like fuck you like everybody else. But a part of me just be like they just need to know. They need somebody to guide them. I feel like people need guidance. They need somebody they can talk to. They need guidance. I feel like if more people shared their stories, um a lot more people will be different. Things for a lot of people will be different if more people shared their stories. That's pretty much all I got, y'all. I just wanted to come and say, hold on, I got some tips. I want to have tips, actionable steps. I'm gonna put this in the community tab too. This is gonna be my first post of um actionable steps towards effective self-care. Number 1, this is something I learned on the journey of healing and self-discovery is setting boundaries. You got to prioritize your needs over everyone else's and learn to say no. Do y'all know how hard it was for me to say no? Oh, I felt like the world was going to end when I had to tell people no. Oh, but now, I got it good at it. It's a no for me. If you heard, it's a no for me. You got to establish a routine. Things that help you to alleviate stress, things that help you to relax, things that help you to manage your stress. And I'm not talking about superficial things like buying clothes or getting a massager. Like I'm talking about real life things, doing yoga, meditating, cooking. I got cooking for therapy. Um, Practice mindfulness, meditate, go for a walk, listen to um, calming music, create calming music. You could do all of those things. And number 5. So that was one. Number 1 is set boundaries. Number 2 is establish a routine. Number 3 is move, stay physically active. Move. I'm gonna say move. I'm not gonna say workout because people are like, oh my. No, just move. Just keep moving. Number 4 is practice mindfulness and meditation. And number 5 is nourish your body, mind, and soul. Get the proper rest, eat, read more. Read more. I don't know if y'all have Spotify, but Spotify now has audiobooks. They could read to you. You could listen to them, but read more. Challenge your mind. Do crossword puzzles. I just learned, is it called logic puzzles? I'm starting to do logic puzzles. I'm doing all kinds of things. I got positive affirmation cards. I got workbooks. I got journals. I'm releasing everything from me in 2024. Everything I ever wanted to do that I was afraid to do before 2024. I almost died in 2022. I'm doing everything. 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 I want to encourage you to do everything. You want to start that YouTube? Just put up a video. Hey y'all, my name is this what my channel gonna be about. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified the next time that I go live. Or follow me on Twitch, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Kick, follow me on Live Space, follow me on TikTok, follow me on all social medias. That's all you gotta do. And then talk about your everyday life. People want to see that because people nosy. Talk about it. If you got over a breakup, how did you get over a breakup? If you got fired from your job, how did you get the courage to go out and look for another job? You got a divorce, talk about it. You're raising kids and you're struggling, talk about it. You are a child who grew up in foster care, talk about it. It's other people that's going through things and they need your experience. They need to know that it is okay, that they can overcome, that they can be successful. We see all these celebrities and we like the celebrities, but we don't even take the time to know how they got to where they come from. That's why I love Cardi B because I got to see, I didn't see her in high school or nothing, but I got to see her transition from who she was to who she is now. We need to see you, not the made up you. We need to see you, the authentic you. As I said, that's all I got, y'all. I hope that I said something that inspire, encourage, uplift, motivates you to be the best you. Having said that, remember that it is important for you to use your words because that is the only way that anyone will ever know what you are feeling and what you are thinking. If somebody pissed you off, tell them. Don't do it rah, rah, rah. Hey, I just want to let you know that this made me feel like that. Tell them. Think about it. Having conversations with people, you can't have conversations with people. You got to talk at them, talk around them. I like to talk to people. You see how I'm looking in the camera? I like to talk to people. I like to talk, period. So I'm going to always talk to you. Always. Remember that it is important for you to love yourself. This includes your faults, your fears, your failures. Those are the greatest times you should show yourself the most love. And I'm telling you as somebody who learned this. Those are the most vulnerable times you should show yourself the greatest love. Know yourself. Know who you are before you get on these cameras. Know who you are before you go outside. You go out the doors. Come out of your room. Know who you are so that you can be that person every day. Stick to your morals and values. Trust yourself. Trust the thoughts, the feelings, trust it. Trust the goosebumps on the back of your neck. Trust the goosebumps. Trust the goosebumps. Trust the goosebumps on your arm. Trust when your hair's standing up on the back of your neck. Trust that feeling you get in the pit of your stomach that's telling you something ain't right. Trust it. Because we always be like, damn, I should have followed my first mind. Trust it. In 2024, if your spidey senses or whatever you call them is tingling, trust it because it's not going to lead you wrong. Trust it. Trust it. Oh, hold on. I'm going. Hold on. When someone says they are praying for a job or praying for a husband or wife, but you don't see them also doing the necessary things to make it happen, how do you motivate them without insulting them spiritually? You provide them with resources. You provide them with resources. Because if you are, most people will look at it as you're judging them if you come to them from a place, but provide them with the resources. Maybe they want a job, or maybe they want a husband and they want a wife, but they haven't even thought about who they are yet. Maybe they want a job at a bank. They don't even have a bank account. They don't even know how the banking system works. Encourage them to look into whatever it is that they want to do, especially when it comes to a husband or praying for a husband and wife. I think a lot of people pray for that, but they don't even know who they are themselves. They don't even love themselves enough, let alone to love somebody else, to be in a relationship with somebody else. That's another that's another thing. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm in a place where it's like, um, I am happy being single. I'm happy being single. I said to my sister the other day, I was like, I think I'm ready to go on a date. And then I went to sleep and woke up the next day and was like, nah, I think I'm cool. But a lot of times I feel like people are praying to be in relationships because they don't like to be alone. They pray, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying people want to be in relationships because they want that companionship. But at the same time, we got to get comfortable with being with ourselves before we can go be in a relationship with somebody else. Because in 2024, if you are not comfortable with yourself, get in a relationship with somebody else and they are broken, if you're broken and they're broken, that relationship is not going to be good. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. But I would definitely say provide them with the resources. Somebody want to get a car, don't have a license, give them a book about how to get your license or provide them with the resources. Not don't do it like um don't do it with ill will. Like, how you want a job? How you praying for a job, but you don't even go look out? Show them how to create a resume. Like, offer to assist them. Like, that's what I do. I know a lot of people praying that God gives them a husband or a wife, and I'll just be asking them all kind of questions. Are you really ready to live with somebody else? Are you really? What if they don't pick up their clothes off the floor? What if you like to clean every day, but they like to clean once or two times a week? What if you like to mop with a Swiffer and they like to use an actual mop? What if you like to cook and they don't like to wash the dishes? It's so many different variables that you need to be mindful of. Sorry, I went on a whole little tangent. Anyways, make sure you trust yourself. And most importantly, make sure you be yourself. You have survived a global pandemic for 4 years. It is time for you to learn, set, and understand boundaries. Stand 10 toes down on them and live. You must pay attention to the news. There's so many different things going on, and we are getting ready to go into a presidential uh, election. And if you don't know who the people are running for president, you should definitely know. I know a lot of people be like, I don't really care. I'm not gonna vote anyways. Listen, you should at least know what the people are saying that they gonna do, they're not gonna do. Maybe they will do if they get in the office, but sometimes people don't be doing the shit that they say gonna go. Anyways, you should at least know who is gonna be there. Having said that, make sure you get your toiletries, non-perishable food items, water, disinfectants, have some cash money, some coins, anything you deem valuable to the side, because we don't know what's gonna happen. And if you are an adult, or I say adult, but if you are engaging in adult activities, make sure that you wrap it up because the STD rates are rising. That's all I got. Until next time, I love you. Peace.